I'm going to talk to you guys about today how to approach people online professionally. So, in a way that, when you message someone, it doesn't look as off for you and you also really likely get a response. This is super helpful when you're doing outreach. So, if you're doing manual outreach or like you have people under you doing outreach for you, this is a really helpful way of doing it because I've actually had to do outreach as well too. So, but I'm going to talk about a slight mindset shift you have to have when you're doing this, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of volume. So there's like a mindset shift you need to have. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what you need to do and how you need to do it essentially. So let's talk about this. So before I get into this training, you have to have a slight mindset shift, like I said before, because for anyone approaching people online, this is very different. So I send out almost like 300 DMs like weekly on Facebook because I have to, because I won't be able to get any attention. You probably watching this video came from probably one of my DMs, so that's something to say. And to be able to do that consistently, you have to be able to understand a couple of things when it comes to messaging. So the one thing you have to make sure that you have in your head is that you're always interrupting someone's day when you message them. So when you're interrupting someone's day, you better be ready to give them value because they owe you nothing. If they ignore your message or block you. So if you're doing outreach and like you're messaging all these people and like you don't get any messages back, or like someone blocks you, you shouldn't feel any sort of like resentment to it, even if they probably showed you interest first, because at the end of the day, you're still the one going into the day and interrupting it. So they owe you nothing essentially. So if you have that slight mindset shift in your head, then people just ignoring you or people just doing stuff to you is not really going to bother you, because if you look at it from their perspective, they don't really owe you anything. So understand this perspective of the person you're DMing, and you'll never be upset or like let a no get to you, because this has allowed me to stay consistent. If you're curious where I learned all this stuff from, it's a book called Fanatical Prospecting. It's a really good book. It's more about cold calling and stuff like that, but like this can still be applied to DMing and stuff. So let's set the intentions, because you have to have an end goal when you message someone essentially. So before you start, you need to know exactly what you aim to achieve by DMing these people every day. So what exactly is the end goal? So end goals could be like, do you want to set an appointment? Do you want to grab a lead? Do you want to find some inefficiencies in what they're currently doing in order to like give value or like share like something that's new? So let's say they're like running ads, for example. Do you want to like show them like a different method which doesn't require them to run ads essentially? Or let's say, for like a product, let's say they're trying to lose weight. So do you have like a really good weight loss method that you want to share with them essentially? So just make sure you have your intention. And the last intention that I just put there is give a solution to a problem with a paid service or product. So if you want to do this last part, you shouldn't be watching this video, because like I don't recommend DMing people to sell stuff, because number one, if you go back to the thing, you're interrupting someone's day and no one is asking to be sold anything if you message them. So I always just recommend just giving as much value as possible to the other person, so they don't like it doesn't kick into them that this person is just not adding any value to their day, so they're just going to ignore you because they don't know you. So you shouldn't try to be pitching yourself for like trying to get like a purchase online, especially if like the person is a very ice cold lead. You shouldn't be doing this. So anyways, let's start about how to approach people, because like I said before, I already touched on this. You have to focus on giving as much value as possible and making them your main focus, because then it's going to shift that that person's perspective to an interruption to a conversation, because when it becomes a conversation, that's where it becomes a bit more back and forth and you can actually start building trust. So it's always important you get to like this stage. So how to approach. So once you found someone is qualified, you'd ideally want to either follow them or add them as a friend and then shoot them a message, depending on where they are. If it's LinkedIn, just shoot your connection. If it's Instagram, shoot them a follow. If it's Facebook, shoot them an ad or something like that. TikTok, I don't know if you can do outreach on TikTok. I'm not too sure you can, but like I said before, do something that can kind of catch their attention before you message them. So the best part, the way you always get like really high reply rates, is if you create context. So context is basically like, like a reason why you're messaging them. So it kind of shifts the perspective of the person from like an interruption to like, oh, this person just wants to have a conversation, because that's exactly what you want to lead them to. If you just position yourself as like an interruption, or you're just like, buy now, get this for free, then you're not gonna get any people coming through, because they're just gonna be like, okay, this is someone trying to waste my time. So you need to start with something that creates context. The way you find context is literally just by going on people's pages. So for example, if I wanted to create some context with Miriam over here, I'll just say learn how our appointment setting strategy works. I'll just be like, okay, hey Miriam, are you working for X company helping coaches to get to blah blah blah. They'll create some context, and then they're gonna be like, okay, this person just wants to have a conversation, and then boom, you start a conversation just like that. You can also go into like if someone is opted in for something that you provide. So let's say that someone is commented on like a 2-step post and you want to give them value. You just be like, hey, I noticed you opted in. Here's the value that you asked for, etc., etc. Boom, conversation is started. It doesn't look like an interruption, even though it is. It doesn't look like it in the head. And then obviously you can be like, hey, name, I saw a post about X on your profile. Do you run X? Blah blah blah. So always important to include a name as well too, because it just makes it a bit more personalized and people usually respond to their names. And remember, the first message that you always send to them isn't always the game changer. You just want to get them to respond. Once they respond, then they're going to be getting notifications every single time you message them back. So unless they just like instantly like mute you or something. But remember, your second message or like something else that you send right after can always be different from how it starts, because it doesn't always have to like flow in the sense that everyone says, oh, your conversations always have to flow. They can flow, and sometimes it's good if they flow. However, you shouldn't always be relying of like sticking to like a strict script or something like that. You can always flow with the conversation, because I guarantee you conversations are always going to go left or right, because like not everyone is a robot and not everyone is going to follow your exact script. So like you always have to prepare for stuff that goes kind of left or right, and you should just get used to it, because that's going to happen a lot. So this was a good rundown on how you can approach people online. I hope this training helped you guys. It's a really short one, but like this was requested by someone on Facebook, so you guys check that out. Also, speaking on Facebook, people in my group get stuff like this early. So if you're really curious on getting stuff like this early, and if you want to get some cool stuff that I share for free, link under this video to join the Facebook group as well too, so you can get some more free stuff in there. So that's basically it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and take care of yourself. Peace.